Well, we're going to be installing some bucking spikes on the McCulloch chainsaw. These are them. I remember when I got my saw, my other saw, they go on the inside right here like that, and install them with some Loctite so they don't come loose. Loctite blue is good enough. I remember when I got my other saw, I didn't have these with them, and I put these on. These are great, even if their chain's starting to get dull. Man, they help you out with a lot more with the cut because you seem to get some leverage out of the damn thing. Well, the first thing is you just remove the two half-inch bolts, nuts, excuse me, to hold the bar on. And of course, the chain brake you make sure your chain brake isn't on because you won't be able to slide this off. This saw is pretty easy to work on, actually. One reason I wanted to get the old saw because they're rebuildable. And it looks like you don't even have to pull the bar off or nothing to get it on there. You just should be able to get it on there like that. There you go. See? Just like that. And this other puppy just sits like that. So simple Simon Says. I thought I'd have to take the bar off. You don't even have to do that. God. So you just put a little I guess you could use red, Loctite red. If you use Loctite red and you got to remove these, propane heat gets them off. But then if you got plastic parts, better watch out for that. So see that? Very simple Simon Says. But I had to get these because I was like, damn, these things are pretty good, man. You'd be surprised. Even if your chain's getting dull or something, it's like you can. And I don't know. It's like I'm not I used to use my old saw quite a bit way back. Well, there was some property up in the bungalow. There's a lot of trees around here on the shading it up and causing mildew on the roof and roof rot and shit. So we cut down a bunch of trees and also used to cut firewood. But that was years ago. And that was when I bought one of these Pro Mac 610s. This is a twin. This is a PM 610. Man, I'm really liking this saw because it's pretty simple to work on, man. Pretty simple. Well, I did take the bar off to get the bottom one on. I guess you could put it on with an open end wrench, but it's easier to take the bar off. So it's simple, man. Make sure the big end goes down to the bottom. These things, like I said, man, these things are pretty damn good to have on there. I remember because, like I said, I'm not a guy that really uses it. I'm like a homeowner, I'm not a professional woodcutter or something like that. But I remember like sometimes when the chain would be getting dull, I was cutting some firewood and I didn't sharpen it or nothing. And I just kept going. Maybe it got dull because I hit the dirt or something by mistake, right? I'd use these bucking spikes and it would just get in there and it's like, hey man, it's cutting again. It's pretty cool. And on the chain brake side, you can see that there's like this holds it in, so you tighten up the nut on the other side. That's the way it goes, right? Pretty simple, man. That's what all there is to it. Now the nuts on this side are actually nylon knocking nuts, but they got some Loctite 242 blue on there anyway, so should hold. And you gotta watch, you don't over tighten the shit out of things. You gotta be tight, but not too tight. I'm a little squeamish about tightening stuff into magnesium too. So I'm being careful. But I figure, like I said, if you ever break the magnesium, you could probably get those aluminum welding rods. And, say you had to fix the oil tank stripped out over here, you could put a steel insert in there too. If you had to do something like that, you go down to McMaster.com, they sell steel inserts. So, anyway, let's put this back on together and make sure your little adjuster is in here. When you tighten it down, it's in the bar. So cute, man. Kind of glad I got this because, you know, I said I'm going to learn the inside, this saw inside and out. So even if, you know, I pulled most of it apart already. If I got to change a cylinder, got to put bearings in the crank seals, wrist pins, bearings. If I got to do anything like that in the future, hey, I could do it. And both my saws are the same. And I still got the parts for these things. These are the old, last of the big saws. McCulloch was good up to the time McCulloch died. Mr. McCulloch. Mr. McCulloch actually knew his shit. You know, now it's just a name. He was the man. He was the man. He needs to be reincarnated, or we need to make a statue to him and bring in his good chainsaw vibes and make this product great again. You know, just like trying to make America great again. At least I took my assembled in Mexico sticker off of here because it's not that I'm not ragging on Mexico. I figured I pulled most of this saw apart. Who the hell assembled it? Me. I'm in the USA. So now it's assembled in the USA. Aha! Right? With American parts. You know, there we go. They got the old bucking spikes on there. Just make sure, like when you're putting this cover back on, of course, don't go messing around with this chain brake when it's off. You might run into a problem. I don't know if you know, if you're flipping around with this chain brake when it's off. This is designed to work with the clutch installed on the cover installed on here with the clutch. And to get this under, you know, it's a minor detail, but you might notice this when you're putting this on. It's like, oh, it's not going on right. You're gonna have to probably loosen this air cleaner cover so this slips up underneath there. Common sense, but you might not notice it. I didn't notice it at first. Okay. And we're going to go on to some other things, because actually I messed up an ignition module on this thing. It shouldn't have been affected by water. I kind of washed it off a little bit. Water must have got in and fried it, so I got a new one coming. But we're going to go over that on another video, how to check your output and all that type of stuff. And I'm assuming that even though that water messed it up, it should have been watertight, that it could have broke on me fairly soon in the future. So I'm glad it broke now. Just like I noticed the fuel line on here was just about ready to crack. So that's new. A new oil line. The oil pump works. It's got good compression. It's going to have a new ignition module. Carburetor's good. Runs good. Not bad. Not bad. Kind of happy with it. When's it going to cut wood? I don't know. But we're prepping for the future. That's what we're doing. And by the way, here's a little kitty cat down here. That's Missy. Why? How you doing, Missy? And if you notice, her tail used to be like a medium brown or medium dark brown color. It's almost black now. It's like a very dark brown color. Must be the taurine in the food I've been giving her. She's a hell of a lot more calmer. Not being a pain in the ass every freaking half hour. You know what the problem was? She was lost. And I think I'm going to bring this one over to the vet, because I got no problem picking her up. You're going to go to the vet when you get a shot. We're going to probably get you fixed and get you a microchip and maybe bring you inside, right? Because you're you just like, she stays right here on this cardboard. I know I'm throwing this in this video all the time, but she stays right here on this cardboard, even though I put a nice blanket back there with a little thing that she can walk out of. You know, she doesn't want to go up there. She stays on this cardboard, and I could see her all night on my security camera. She either goes right here or right there on the steps. So she'd be very content being inside. You're not a wanderer. You're a girl cat, aren't you? Right? As long as you get along with my boys inside, okay? And it has nothing to do with chainsaws, okay? Sorry. I just like this little cat. It's kind of cool. She was driving me nuts the first couple of days she came over, though. Holy smokes, man. Every 30 minutes. She wanted food. She wanted freaking gravy. Holy shit. right? But now you're a nice, perfect little calm cat, and you look like you're getting really healthy.